Hey everyone, back on the 56 this morning, getting an early start. It's really hot out here already and it's only 8:30 in the morning. I know some of you say that's not really an early start. Well, it's early for me because I spent a lot of time reading the paper and watching videos before that. But getting back to this rust, I've exposed the cancer and now it's time for the chemo treatment. And I'm going to treat it with this this acid. You know, I was going to wire wheel the loose stuff off before I put the acid on, but I'm going to try it a different way. Joe Sousa says just put it on like it is. I always listen to Joe. He's got really good advice. So I'm going to try it that way. I'm going to treat this inner panel, and I'm going to go the inside of the cab and do the outer skin from the inside. And hopefully that gets rid of the rust. And then I can start putting the patch panel together and going from there. So I'm going to start here on the outside. Just get as much of this as I can. I don't know if it's in the shot. I put a piece of cardboard down just so I'm not dripping this acid onto my patio. I don't know that it'll hurt the bricks, but whatever. Put that right in there as best I can. Get this up in here. And then I'm going to go to the inside. I'll reset the camera so you can see that when I'm doing inside. So this shot is looking down at the inside of the cab corner. So inside the cab, looking into the corner. And I'm just reaching down and putting this acid on. The metal looks pretty solid, but it definitely has like surface rust on it. And left untreated, yeah, it'll eventually find its way through. And I'm going to cut up a little bit more, a little higher anyways. You want to get solid metal to weld to. You don't want to be blowing holes through it as you're welding. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. That's Pippi barking. What's the matter, baby? She's on my deck looking down at me. I think she wants to go visit Grandma, which is part of our morning routine. Visit my mom. And she likes seeing the dogs more than she likes seeing me, I think, but that's okay. No complaints. I'm going right up the side of the cab corner, right up the B pillars on the inside. Just treat as much of this rust as I can. And you know, the B pillar's solid, it's just surface rust, but it'll hopefully kill it. And then we're going to spray it after it all neutralizes with Rust-Oleum. I tell you, I mentioned Rust-Oleum a lot. I'm thinking of calling them and telling them, hey, you know what, I talk you guys up a lot, you know, what he's done for me. But anyways, that's here or there. I was actually going to call Rust-Oleum just to see if there was a difference between the Direct to Rust primer, which is the red colored primer, and the Rust Reformer, which is the black. And the red one I can pick up at Home Depot in a quart size. Is that my head in the shot? And you know, if you're doing a big area, it's great. But the other stuff's in spray cans. It's not really efficient. I'm going to move the camera because I want to get my head in there. So I'm going to move back and around. I just want to show you this. I don't know if you have enough light to see it, but this is the last piece of work I did this morning. This is the inside inner cab corner from the inside underneath. I'm underneath the truck. And that's the floor. And I don't want to treat the underneath the floor until I have the cab off. And I'm not going to take the cab off until everything's back together, so it doesn't what's the word, rack. You know, I don't get it twisted out of shape. So I'm trying to keep the floor pinned down to the frame and using the frame as a jig. Keep the truck as straight as I can, the floor in place as much as I can. So while I was reaching, of course, I spilled the acid all over the patio. Not going to hurt it. That'll just be a clean spot. But I think that's enough for now. I'll come back and do some more later. Let it dry, treat it again, and then neutralize it. Well, I put that stuff on a few hours ago. Didn't really seem to take off much rust or eat much rust. So I'm going to hit it with the wire wheel real quick. It's 95 degrees out today. I really don't want to be out here, but I want to hit this one more time with the wire wheel and then put another coat of acid on it, eat out what's left. Just got to be careful. I'm inside the cab with the wire wheel. It's going to be careful. I got my long sleeves on and put good gloves on. I'm going to have a full face shield. Knock this out real quick. Well, I really can't get down in there with that tool. I got something else I want to try. I got another tool to try. I'm going to shut the camera off, reset that, and take a look at it. So I got this little tiny wire wheel driven by, it's on a stick. It plugs into my drill here. It's not as good as using the grinder, but I'll give it a shot, see what happens. Works pretty good. I don't know if you can see the dust coming up. Let me grab this thing here. Pardon the movement. But it's reaching down there. It gets to the bottom. It's taking off the loose stuff. And I think another coat of acid will clear it up as best I can. And then the Direct Rust primer will have to be the solution when everything's said and done, because even down in here, that's just too tight to get anything in there. There's no mechanical device to get in there. Maybe, what, a rope or something? Just pull it back and forth? Or sandpaper on a stick? I got a paint stick here. Look, can't do that. Can't shove that in there. So, you do as best you can. And, the real way to do this, I guess, guys, take these completely apart. I'm not doing that. Well, I just put the second treatment of acid on there. I coated the cab mount as well. So as I was looking around the back side here, that's the back of the cab mount there. You kind of see some rust coming through. So that's going to have to be treated at some point in time. The goal is to make the cab as nice as possible. And when that's all done, then I'll try to
decide whether to put this on a newer frame or do a pure restoration. But bodywork's got to get done either way, so that's where I'm going with it. Next video I'll show you how this treatment came out, and I'll wrap it up for today. Thanks for watching.